History has a tendency to repeat itself when people don't learn from past mistakes. The errors of Nero, Domitian, and other early persecutors of the church were about to be repeated by Roman Emperor Severus. After a brief respite under the rule of Commodus, Severus reinstated the official persecution of the followers of Jesus, seeing them as a political threat. What Severus was about to learn is Christianity thrives most under persecution. One of the many notable martyrs was a man named Leonides, beheaded under his rule. Although he seemed to be a Christian well spoken of, the greatest influence of Leonides came from the raising of his son, Origen. Even in childhood, Origen was captivated by the possibility of dying a martyr's death. He would even put himself in dangerous situations on the off chance God might allow him to die a martyr's death. However, God and his mother had other plans for him. Once news reached Origen of his father's beheading, he threw himself even deeper into his studies, drawing the attention and respect of those who considered themselves enemies of Christians. And although his writings and commentaries on Scripture are well renowned, church historian Eusebius seems to celebrate him most for the crushing of heresies. One of his fellow teachers, Beryllus, taught an early form of Arianism, believing that Jesus did not have a pre-existing form before his birth to Mary, and that the only deity he possessed was bestowed on him by God the Father. Once Origen corrected him, Beryllus recanted this belief. He was also a staunch opponent of the Valentinians, who blended Gnosticism into their Christianity. He also effectively refuted the belief that Christians could believe Jesus in their hearts while denying him with their mouths. There was also an early form of soul sleep going around during this time, the belief that the soul dies or sleeps when the body dies until the resurrection. This Origen also put an end to. Eusebius records many other heresy refutations, teachings, and commentaries that Origen contributed to Christianity. Although he was imprisoned and tortured during the reign of Emperor Decius, he would be freed before he died a few years later. And yet again, Decius couldn't learn from his predecessors, because the students of Origen, under the persecution of the Roman Empire, would continue to grow the church under this persecution. The opponents of Christianity never seem to learn that the more that Christianity is persecuted, the more it spreads to the rest of the world.